All right, JA, a very special top 5 list for this edition of Inside Wisconsin. We have had some good ones. I mean, we have covered some ground in Wisconsin, but none like today. We are going to list off and go through to the best of our against the rules HIPAA ability with Dr. Brian Klika, orthopedic surgeon from Baycare Clinic. We want to go through the top 5 best Wisconsin injuries that have come across Dr. Klika's table. Dr. Klika from Baycare. What's up, man? Good to see you.
Hey, how are you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Can we just clarify? I don't think we have HIPAA violation. You're not naming names, are you? You're not bringing up charts and showing people's x-rays, right? We should be fine.
I think we're fine.
So before we get into top 5, just give me a quick, do you categorize things? Like I have skiers that are dopes, and then I have shoveling injuries. Like how do we break that up?
Yeah, I'd say like sport related. There's the skiing, sledding, a lot of those types where they're just a slip and a fall, where accidental it happens. But then there's just a lot of the saw blade injuries, log splitter injuries, where just trying to do too much at the wrong time. And I mean, it's on a weekly basis we see those injuries.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be great. I want to leave it. I'm going to leave it in this shot the whole time, just so we can see our reactions to the injuries that we're about to go through. All right. Dr. Klika, give us number 5. What makes it on your list the 5th best injury in Wisconsin winter history?
Well, I'll kind of go through and categorize. And the first one I would just put into like sledding and injuries. And this is, the tree that comes out of nowhere and smack in the middle of a tree. It's just falling while, trying to do a triple axle or whatnot. And we see a lot of wrist fractures, a lot of finger fractures, elbow fractures with this. And, everyone has a really unique story. They're obviously, disappointed with it, but we see a ton of these during the winter.
Well, we're going to cover one of those later on.
You've really had dudes just ski into a tree.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like I understand, like it's serious because that's how we lost Sonny Bono. The man skied into a tree. But I've skied a lot in my life. I've never nobody purposely, but I've never skied into a tree. Like they're pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to cover it right now. Look at this, John. If you can see this image right here, that's my son's arm in the operating room with Dr. Klika.
Yes.
My son did the whole let's go into a tree on a sled and shattered his arm, and Dr. Klika gave us the thumbs up from the OR. That's what it looked like. Anyway, sledding and skiing. All right, got it. So that's a category. What's number 4?
So this is the typical situation where a Wisconsinite is out drinking too much. They pass out, in the snow. They wake up with, purple and soon to be black fingers. So we see a ton of frostbite injuries, and I can't tell you through training out in Rochester, Minnesota, and now here, someone just falls asleep or passes out, and it's a really, really bad situation for them.
So we have exposure issues.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so this so far is every bit as pleasant as I'd hoped it'd be. Over in Green Bay at Fireman's Park, over the hill on the back end of Fireman's Park, we'd go there a lot, and it was part of kind of full combat sledding, and you jump off yours onto the other guy, and you try to get him off, and we ran a guy kind of almost into a tree, and he had a big old kind of knot right here that was probably the size of an egg. So my best to Mark Alava, who I think is doing well. He's actually now an emergency room doctor in Milwaukee.
Oh, good.
We like to think it was early training. We put him on his career path. So in the way, a lot of good things actually came out of that when you think about it. So, all right, so we're skiing poorly into trees. We've got some exposure. What else is out there?
Mm-hmm. Number 3.
So number 3, we're going with ice auger injuries. So, a lot of people love to ice fish, and it seems like every year we've got a couple people that the glove gets a little bit too close to the auger and it just wraps in it. And these are personally some of the nastiest injuries, I've had. And without getting too graphic, I mean, obviously partial amputations, but, tendons are involved, and a really, really tough injury for these individuals.
I'm sweating.
So this is where we always say, right? Tuck in all loose scarves, all loose clothing, right?
People they get way too overconfident with gloves. They think they can get close to it with gloves, and it actually, once the hand gets wrapped in it, it's just too much trauma.
All right, so let's say I make it down the slope, And I managed to have a toddy in the bar without actually falling asleep out in the snow. And then Saturday I go ice fishing and I survive with that and I make my catch limit and I'm good. What is the next danger that's out there for me at number 2?
So this one I still had to categorize in their winter injuries, and I'm going crossbow injury with this one. And
where's with the crossbow?
Oh my goodness! So there's supposedly a guard on crossbows, and the more expensive ones have a better safety protector, but a lot of the cheap ones they don't. And I would probably have 5 or 6 individuals every year that when the string is released, it comes across and clips the top part of their thumb. And it's a really devastating injury. Oftentimes it just clips the distal tip of it. And, we can either do a very small amputation where the thumb is very functional, or it's just, treating the fracture. But occasionally we have some that are much higher up on the thumb. And that's a really tough issue to take care of.
What's number 1 at this point? What ground have we not covered? I got nothing left.
So this was an easy number 1, and that's the snowblower injuries.
Oh yeah.
This one really takes the cake, and there's probably 10 to 15 of these, cases that I will see in a year. And, it's just unbelievable how this happens. So I talked about patients, they come in and they're embarrassed, and this is the quintessential embarrassing moment for a patient. They know they shouldn't have did it. They did it anyway. And I don't know why. I think it's almost like the human Venus flytrap phenomenon. They just can't resist sticking their hand in, but every time it happens, it sucks the glove in, and that's it.
I feel like all of these are preventable. This is the worst part.
Yeah. The tough thing for them too is they're absolutely shocked because it happens so quick. Their glove kind of gets sucked in, and they usually reach up and they have their glove on and they think, oh, I made it, I'm fine. And then they take the glove off and here their finger is just an absolute bloody mess. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that story from patients. They just don't even realize that the pain hasn't even set in yet.
Well, our thanks to Dr. Brian Klika from Bay Care Clinic, orthopedic surgeon from the elbow down. Yeah, we didn't even cover the rest of the body. These are just elbow down injuries. Wisconsin winters are safe for the most part. And clearly not for everybody. Well, I'm sure you have some surgeries to do, Dr. Klika, so we'll let you run, man. It's great to see you again. Better here in this office than in your office, with all due respect.
Well, thank you both. I appreciate this.
Shut up and sit down.